All right, so I'm not the biggest football fan in the world, but I do kind of follow like casually. And one thing you definitely cannot miss is just the implosion that is the Dallas Cowboys. I don't really understand how a team can be honestly cursed, because like I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. They have everything that they should need in order to at least challenge for a Super Bowl, but they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. And I look at how insipid they are, and it reminds me of a football team, European football soccer team, that used to have like similar problems, and that's Liverpool. Now, if you don't know about Liverpool, they play in England. They are the English Premier League champions. They were the European champions as well. And I find the parallels between these two clubs to be very interesting. It's almost in reverse in a way. So basically, what I'm trying to do in this video is kind of just like explain why the Cowboys are screwed, and they're gonna be screwed for the foreseeable future, and what they need to do in order to actually win anything anytime soon, and how Liverpool kind of helps to illustrate this point. So when Jerry Jones took over, it was almost immediate success, and he was that messianic figure. And that's one of the common things about these larger than life clubs, right? They will have a run of success, and then eventually they'll hit a rough patch because there comes this expectation of success. But anytime you have this expectation of success because you've had so much success, it's almost as if like the powers that be are going to be like, oh, you expect to win, okay, well, that's where you're gonna lose now. It's such a weird thing. We see it right now with Manchester United, where Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge, and he was doing his thing, winning everything, dominating everything, and then he leaves, and United has just been just wow. Anyway, so here's the deal, right? When you look at Jerry Jones coming in, taking over, bossing up the place, and putting the Cowboys back on the map, making them America's team, blah blah blah, it's like, yeah. Now when you look at Liverpool, right, Fenway bought Liverpool from Hicks and Gillette for like 300 mil in 2010. I mean, 300 mil now, that might get you messy. Maybe. Probably need to put some more on that. But, the market was just different back then. Now it's like super inflated. And what ends up happening is that you have to bring in some managers, because who they were getting was just, it wasn't cutting it. And they had a good manager in Rafa Benitez, but still wasn't quite the right person. Could have won, didn't win, but so it is. So they get Brendan Rodgers in as manager. They almost win, but because defense wins championships and his defense was shit, they didn't win anything. Then they get the real messianic figure. There's a theme again, messianic figures, in Jurgen Klopp. He comes in and inculcates the squad with this underdog mentality, so they can punch above their weight, and they'll do so very well. But when it comes to teams that are on their level, they couldn't beat them. Then following seasons, he's like, okay, we were the underdogs, now we are the dogs. And so they just kill everything left, right, and center, and they won the Champions League, European Cup, and they also won the Premier League last season. That was the first Premier League in like 31 years. If I'm 31, then I think, 31 years, 32 years, something like that. It was wild. And everybody was annoyed because they wouldn't shut up about it. But here's the deal, right? when you look at the fact that Jerry Jones is having problems now because he led the Cowboys to the promised land, he has not done so since. You look at Liverpool's previous ownership, they could not bring them to the promised land. You had to change, and that's why the Cowboys, they don't have a choice. They're gonna have to. Well, I mean, they can't. That's the problem because Jerry Jones is in charge. So Jerry Jones really has to leave. There's no other way. He has to go. There is literally no other way, right? Because the fact is, he took you so far and no more. And I think he is now a victim of his own success, his own past success. Here's the interesting thing, and this is why I'm making this parallel with Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp used to be the manager of Borussia Dortmund in Germany. They ended up winning the Bundesliga, the German Premier League, basically. And they beat Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, if you know anything about Bayern Munich, you know Bayern Munich is like a fucking juggernaut, right? And he beat them. Against all odds, he beat them. And unfortunately, what ended up happening after that is that Borussia Dortmund fell. They fell so far down that Jurgen Klopp got fired. But because he had that pedigree of bringing in that dogged determination and grit and fight, he took Borussia Dortmund to that level where they are now European darlings, and a lot of people didn't really care about them until he took over and revolutionized the squad, and he's a really good man manager and that kind of stuff. And the point is, despite all of that, he still had to leave. Borussia Dortmund now, yeah, they didn't get back to winning the Bundesliga, but they're at least not as shit as they were when Jurgen Klopp left. So that's the point I'm trying to make. This is the thing when it comes to messianic figures. People come in, whether into your sports club or even your life, right? People do amazing things you've never seen before, or bring you back to the glory days. But you cannot forget that these are just men. They're just people, or someone has to give them that reality check. Because the fact of the matter is that, if there's no way that people can have Jerry Jones step down or whatever, trust me, this is not gonna end well for Dallas. Because the fact is, as much as everybody loves him, and as much as Jerry Jones loves the Dallas Cowboys, he is getting in the way. He had Jason Garrett there for 19,000 years. He's the one who wants McCarthy to come in and in hiring this offensive coordinator, this defensive coordinator, blah, 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 blah. It didn't work. And if it didn't work, right, as much as you were the Messiah once upon a time, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Liverpool also tried this before, where they had club legend Kenny Dalglish come back. They won, I think they won a League Cup. But to be honest, the squad was still not very good. They still had problems. And so that's basically the point, right? The Dallas Cowboys, and you might think to yourself, honestly, dude, I hear what you have to say, but the truth is, why do you think that you can blame Jerry Jones for the injuries to Prescott, to Dalton, right? Why do you you can't blame him for things that happen on the pitch. Here's the thing, right? I'm not one of those people who believes that things happen in isolation like that. Because the fact of the matter is this: why is it that it's only happening to Dallas? And it's not only happening to Dallas, but it happens to Dallas a lot. Y'all should be way better, right, than you are. You should not be losing to the Washington Redskins. You know that, and I know that. Everybody knows that, right? To me, it's just symptomatic of a bigger issue. And maybe it sounds conspiratorial, but if I've learned anything from the Liverpool example I've given you here, it's this. You can have the wrong people in charge, whether on the pitch or in the boardroom. Weird things happen, bad things happen, and unfortunately, you may want more success, but you're not gonna get it. For some strange reason, it's like a change of personnel, someone with a better vision and is more lucid and more clear-minded and not bogged down with certain things. They just don't suffer certain iniquities and crap and just flat out misfortune. It's bizarre, man. It's truly strange. Because when Klopp came in, things just started to fit in way better. Certain injury stuff wasn't a problem as much as it used to be. The discipline on the pitch was better. Yes, you can claim that to be a Klopp thing. But here's the thing. Klopp's time at Liverpool, I don't know. It might be running out soon again because the injuries have now started again. We're seeing Liverpool drop a lot of points in times and places where they really don't need to be dropping points. We're seeing match officials give calls to opposing teams rather than Liverpool, and it should have gone to Liverpool. These are the little things, man, that just don't add up. Because it's like, why are all these bad things happening to you? Nah, I'm sorry. It's something deeper. Personally, I think it's something mental. And it just like has a ripple effect in the world. But that's just my 2 cents.